Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing another great, simple and easy meal prep video. So this video will make 4 meals over a period of 5 days, which is 20 meals in total for less than 2 hours. So we're going to start off first with our lunch, as this will take the longest to cook. It's going to be a roast chicken and vegetables. Now, if you are vegan or vegetarian like myself, you don't have to use a normal chicken. You can use mock chicken like I am in this video. I picked this one up from the Green Edge for about $10 or $12, and it's roughly 800 grams, so it is really good value for what you get. So we're just going to slice our chicken up into about palm-sized pieces, roughly 100 grams. It doesn't really matter unless you are tracking your macros, which I'm not at the moment. So I'm just going to chop this up and lay it on a baking tray with some baking powder. So once it's on the baking tray, we're just going to spray that with some canola oil or olive oil, or if you have coconut oil, it's great as well. And then we're going to sprinkle it with some herbs. So I'm just using some different herbs I had in the kitchen. I had some rosemary and also some basil, I think, from memory. Now, putting that aside, we're going to move on to our roast veggies. So I'm going to be using approximately 2 to 3 zucchinis. So you just need to cut these up into small pieces. I think in the end I really only ended up eating 2 zucchinis, but I did have some leftovers, which is great as well to have around the house if you do feel like a snack. And we're just going to place them on a baking tray as well. I'm also going to add in some capsicum. I think some of you guys in America or other countries call this a red pepper. We call it capsicum here in Australia, so sorry if you're like, what the hell am I talking about? And we're just going to slice that up as well and also put that on our baking tray. I'm also going to add in some broccoli. I love broccoli. It has so many great benefits for you. So we're just going to sprinkle some of those onto the baking tray as well. And to finish our vegetables off, I'm just going to cut up some garlic and also some onion. This is more so for flavour. It's great to cook it in between within your veggies, just to give it that extra flavour while it's cooking, and then also to eat as well. I do love eating roast onion. Yes, I am weird. So now that our veggies are all laid out in the tray, we're going to once again just give it a quick spray with some oil and put our herbs on that as well. So as I previously mentioned, I used to use a bunch of herbs around the house. It doesn't really matter if you are looking for some herbs and you're not too sure. A really great go-to is just some Italian herbs that you can pick up from the supermarket. I use dry herbs, however, if you do have your own homegrown herbs around the house, they are great as well. Now we're going to place both our chicken and our vegetable trays into the oven, and we're going to set that to about 160, 170 degrees and let that cook. So while we're waiting for that to cook, we're going to move on to dinner. I'm going to be using some gluten-free pasta that I picked up from my local supermarket. I've never tried this one before, but I did want to give it a go. So we're just going to put that in a pot of boiling water and let that boil until it's nice and soft. Now in a saucepan, we're going to cut up some onion and some garlic, and I'm just going to let that saute in the saucepan until it starts to go a little bit golden. Once that's looking a little bit golden like this, we're going to add in our mince. So once again, instead of really using real mince, I'm going to be using this corn mince that I picked up from the supermarket. This mince is vegetarian friendly. I don't think it is vegan friendly. I think it has some egg in it, but it is really high in protein. So if you are looking for a meat alternative, I highly recommend checking this out. So just giving that a nice stir through now, just to make sure it's all evenly distributed. And I'm going to be adding 1 can of Italian diced tomatoes to my mixture, just to give it some flavour as well, because mince is so boring by itself. And I'm going to put half a cup of water in that can and just tip that water into there as well. And once again, going in with my seasoning, I'm just using some oregano and giving that a nice big stir through as well. And then once that's all stirred through, we're going to pop the lid on and we're just going to let that simmer through, and just make sure you stir it occasionally as well, because we don't want it to burn at the bottom. So whilst dinner's cooking, I'm just going to move on to my snack. So today I'm going to be making a yogurt fruit muesli type of snack. I guess it's like a yogurt cross like a parfait almost. So I picked up these dragon fruit that are in season at the moment from my local fruit store. I absolutely love dragon fruit. They are so delicious. But however, you can use any fruit you want for this. So I'm just going to peel these back. I love that about dragon fruit, is it's so easy to peel the skin off them. So we're going to peel that back, and we're just going to start to chop them up into little cubes. So now they're all peeled back, I'm going to take a couple of scoops of yogurt into my container. I normally aim for around 150 grams of yogurt. I'm just guessing today because, like I said earlier, I'm not tracking my macros at the moment. So placing my yogurt aside, I'm just going to grab my muesli, and I'm going to sprinkle some muesli along the top of this. You can make your own home muesli if you want, or you can just use some from the supermarket. Just be careful of the sugar content in your muesli, so that's always something to keep an eye out when you are picking it. And just adding my fruit to the top, I've got dragon fruit, as I mentioned earlier, and also some fresh blueberries as well. So going back to dinner, my pasta is now cooked, and I'm just going to spoon that out into my containers nice and evenly. And then I'm just going to top that with a few scoops of my mince mixture that I made earlier. It smells so good. I'm actually so excited for this meal this week. Now moving back onto our final meal to be dished up, which is our lunch. I'm just going to use this packet of 90-second rice because I'm only using a tiny bit of rice in my meal for this. Normally if I did have a lot more time, I would cook rice from scratch. However, for the amount that I'm using, it's not really worth it. So I'm just going to quickly dish this up into here. It's literally probably about 40-50 grams of cooked rice. It's not a lot at all. And I'm just going to place my chicken strips in there as well. So as you can see, they're nice and golden now and a little bit crispy on the edges, which is exactly how I like them. And adding my vegetables as well. So we're just going to try and put as many in there as we can. It can be a little bit tight fit in these containers, but that's okay. So I'm going to evenly distribute all my veggies into them. So starting with breakfast now, I'm just going to crack about 8 eggs into a container. We're going to be making banana and egg pancakes. All it is 2 ingredients, eggs and bananas. So these are really healthy and really quick and easy to make. So giving that a really good whisk now. I'm then going to move on and add on to 3 bananas into this egg mixture. And we're just going to give them a really good mash to make sure it's all nicely combined. So once that's combined in a saucepan, I'm just going to put a few scoops of this into the middle, just like you would regular pancakes. It does come across as quite runny, but it actually does thicken up as you cook it. So after a few minutes, it should start to rise. Make sure you keep an eye on it as it does cook really quickly and you don't want to burn the underside. So just flipping that over, it should look something like this. Oh, they look so good and they taste amazing. So now that that's cooked, I'm just going to dish that up into my container that I have off to the side. I normally have about 3 pancakes for a serve, roughly that side, and I like to top it with fruit and sugar-free maple syrup that you can pick up from your local groceries. So that is a complete meal prep. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you liked it, make sure you give me a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe because I do upload videos like this every week. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye!